but they're all dead now. So. Welcome back to Your Developer Next Door. I'm Cody from Mobile Mischief. In this video, we're going to do something a little bit different from last time. We'll get back to that project, but the way that I kind of work is if I have inspiration on something, I kind of go for it. I find it helps kind of my creative juices if they keep flowing, if I kind of just follow where they're headed, and I can work faster on certain projects and things like that. So what we're doing is we're creating a live wallpaper with the theme of like springtime. So this particular video will be all about creating the environment. I don't know exactly if it's going to be a very good environment. I don't claim to be like an environment artist or anything like that, but I know how to use the tools okay. So let's take a look. It's going to be like this took like 5 hours for me to do, including light mapping, so a little bit less time. But we're going to watch kind of like a sped up version of that, and I'm going to comment on the things that I did and why I did them, and hopefully you get something out of it. So let's get to it. All right. So here we are in the spring live wallpaper scene here. I'm kind of getting used to the new terrain tools. They were updated recently. I don't remember which Unity version, but pretty recent. I haven't used this version before, so creating the textures. I am using Cinti Studios Polygon Nature. I find it looks pretty good, and I kind of like the direction that they went as far as like using terrain with polygon styled textures instead of like having actual 3D models as like the floors and grounds and stuff like they have in their previous packs. So here we are creating kind of the base terrain. In my head, I had envisioned a waterfall type thing, kind of coming out of like a cliff area, and a little stream. So here we are with that. The water that I'm using is low poly water. I'm using the mobile version, of course, because it's going to be an Android wallpaper. I messed quite a lot with the textures, tried to make them like as realistic as I could think to do. I don't know exactly, like I haven't studied how mud climbs up the edge of a stream or anything like that, but sand all along the edges made some spots more muddy. It's kind of, I noticed like the textures got kind of splotchy and bright in some places if I added too many different texture layers. I don't know exactly why that was happening, or if it was just the sand color coming through more, but that was kind of odd. We're starting to, I was pretty happy at the shape of the terrain at this point, or the shape of the stream, so started putting rocks in, and I like to use easy scatter to place things. That tool, it places things like randomly, prefabs randomly. We are exploring like the different effects that comes with Polygon Nature to try to make the waterfall. And the actual waterfall model can't be the same low poly water shader, of course, because it's shaped differently. Now it's vertical. instead of a flat plane. So I kind of tried to approximate the color of it, and hopefully the effects kind of cover that it's not like exactly the same polygon style as the flat water. So I was experimenting with all the different rocks and prefabs that were at my disposal. Kind of wanted it to be pretty covered. Took me quite a long time to figure out exactly like something that would look a little bit more natural. You know, just having like a small cliff with water coming out didn't seem quite natural to me. So I kind of raised the terrain around it, added more rocks around the side, so hopefully it's more like an entire cliff wall face instead of just like the single pillar. What textures is I added the rocks, try to make it look like there were pebbles and stuff around the rocks. I think I was pretty happy at this point. Testing it. Filling any holes that I saw as I went. And I kind of had an idea, like maybe have a type of meadow right there, or a large meadow, and then kind of have little scatters of flower texture. Again, using easy scatter, started looking through the trees to see what types of trees I wanted to put down. And I made this kind of hill right here to have kind of like a main center point tree. I thought that would be pretty good. Tried to make it look like the ground has been kind of worn away by the stream, exposed roots, the root system of this bigger tree. And of course the materials can't be like crazy and have those sways on mobile Android. I mean, you can, but a live wallpaper, you really want to be performant. You want it to be have very little battery drain, which I am a little concerned. At the end of this video, you'll see why I'm a little concerned about the battery drain, but we'll have to test it, and if it is too much, we can take out some stuff. But right now, putting a lot of stuff in, making it look nice, gives us some good like previews. It makes it look really good if we want to do like Facebook and Instagram posts. Make sure to follow us there. Putting bushes down. Again, the material, I think I change the material soon. Bushes, kind of random. Trees and stumps. Just looking for the plants that I wanted to put down. Any flowers or grass or things. Pretty happy with all of these. I tried to go for ones that were 3D modeled and not ones that relied on like a shader or like a ones that were planes that had the shader transparent fade out. So I placed a bunch of them, made sure they were all touching the ground. Sometimes if the prefab is like a little off, they'll look, easy scatter will place them and it'll look like they're hovering. And I deleted any ones that were inside of other things, moved them a little bit, things like that. Quite a lot, probably too much. I think I placed some in particular like next to, you probably saw that dead fallen tree thing in the middle of that meadow. I think I purposely placed some there. Pretty happy with how it's looking so far. Placed some of these special flowers just in this meadow area. All randomly rotated and scaled, of course. I think they match. I'm still not too sure about them. Lily pads. I really like lily pads. In real life, I had a pond with a bunch of lily pads that I really liked, but they're all dead now. So placing reeds and cattails, make it look like a living stream here. And changing changing some of the colors of the trees to make them a little bit more springy and bloomy, look like they're blooming. Here I was looking at all of the, I'd realized I hadn't placed like flowers, so I deleted a lot of the plants, a lot of the grasses, and a few of the bushes, so I would have a little bit more room to place flowers. I was looking through the flowers here. And again, the color change on some of the bushes. Going through the flowers. I don't know if this is how you're supposed to make an environment, but you know, I tend to go from the ground up. You know, make the terrain, place like the big objects, like the big rocks, the trees, and then kind of fill in. Keep adding and modifying and moving until it fleshes out into something like. Placed a bunch of the flowers. It's pretty particular about their placement. Wanted some in certain places. Put some mushrooms on that dead meadow log. I kind of want more mushrooms in here, but I don't know how appropriate that is to the theme. I think that's more of like a fall. Mushrooms grow better in the fall, I think, or at least they do around here. Wasn't quite happy with the colors. They're more summer colors, not spring colors. So here I was messing with the colors. I think I changed them in Photoshop. Yeah, I really like the flowers and stuff. I wish there were more variations of the flowers. You know, it's all just like one type of flower, just different colors and like groupings. But yeah, I like the flowers. I wasn't quite happy with the colors of the trees and the bushes either. A little bit too plain, so I made those a little bit better. Here I was experimenting, seeing if like what kind of particles we wanted, if any, inside the forest here. And I decided on the petals, did like blind petals, which matched pretty closely to the color that I picked for some of the trees anyway. So, and they're gonna be added in later. They're not gonna be like everywhere. It's just gonna be connected to the camera. So that'll help with performance as well, not having them all over the place. Here I added the skyboxes. I added the mountain range that comes in Polygon Nature to kind of fill out the background, and then also a skybox. And then we did some. I was pretty happy with everything, where everything was, positions and colors and everything. So I think we tried some light mapping. You always got to make sure the generate light map UVs are correct on the Cinti Studios models. I made sure everything was properly static or not static. Of course, water is not static. You don't want your stream to have quite a shadow like everything else. So here's one of the light maps. Turned out okay, good enough. It's a little dark. I think I brightened it up later. But yeah, I think I got pretty good quality on the light map. And that's everything. So I hope you got something out of it. At least just seeing another developer kind of go through their process. Maybe you thought of how you could do something differently, or maybe you have suggestions for me. That'd be great, because I'm certainly not an artist. So I hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.